That should not be happening. It should not be cornering without a corner.
Hello once again, gamers. Kruznik X back with more Final Fantasy XIV goodness. Alongside me, as always, CC Valentine.
Hi. Fuck.
We are well on our way to becoming a level 50 Astrologian. I've upgraded my gear quite a bit. We're back on Chris Valentine for the rest of this journey. Now, when we last left off, we met Mace and Leveva and Janquinard, all of whom are going to be joining us throughout this adventure. And, when we last left off, we learned about the bowl, the constellation of the bowl. Hopefully we'll learn a little bit more in this next quest, but to do that, we've got to speak with Janquinard and complete the level 35 quest, Hanging in the Balance. Let's do it.
I'm gonna hang this fucking house in a minute.
Greetings, Chris. The stars tell me you have been rigorously following Leveva's training regimen, though I harbor doubts that go out and do things while I traipse about the realm constitutes a regimen. Still, she is all we have, so I suppose we have to make do. And as the stars would have it, she has just sent word that she is ready for us to attempt the opening of the second heaven's gate. You are aware of the seven heavens, are you not? Just as there are 7 realms in the underworld, so too are there 7 realms of the firmament. Each of the first 6 represent one of the 6 basic elements: earth, ice, water, wind, lightning, and fire. The 7th and final heaven, representing the element's astral polarity. The first 6 heavens are represented by the 6 constellations, which each revolve around the pole star. Astrologians of the Charlian school draw on the ether contained in the celestial bodies represented in the constellations by unlocking or opening the gate to heaven that constellation is correlated with. There is no actual gate. Think of it as more a portal to the soul. You are opening your mind, allowing for attunement with these distant bodies, much like one attunes with an aetherite, but on a far grander scale. Now, this may come as a revelation, but Heidelin is not flat like most believe. It is, in fact, a sphere so large that when we walk upon it, it only appears to be flat. Because it is a sphere, there are some locations better suited than others for observing certain constellations. That is what Leveva is doing right now, finding a location in which the next heaven's gate will rise to a position directly in mid-heaven, where it will be easiest to attune with. And it seems she has found one, near the final prayer in Eastern Thanalan. Alright. That's all I needed to know. First and foremost, Free Company, Actions, Heat of Battle 2, Execute, Brave New World 2, Execute. There we go. That way I get my frickin' boosts. Alright. We are off to Eastern Thanalan, right? Yeah. So, off to Camp Drybone. By the way, any complaining you hear is because CC is currently playing Minecraft.
I'm deleting that world and I am starting the fuck over. What is this one? Oh, that's a fantasy. Here we go. Let's make a Candyland game. Well, I can't because I have to buy the texture packs.
The final prayer is that away, and I just derped. Alright, jump, jump. Thankfully, we're so high level that we don't have to fuck with anything around here. While I'm at it, I do want, before we continue, I do want to do a couple of mentions. The first and foremost, a new follow. Well, 2 new follows, one of which I forgot to mention for several videos. First and foremost, a special thank you to PD Lovelace, who is following us on twitch.tv, as well as Westboy12, who's also following us. So thank you for following Cruisenix Purgatory, and I hope you enjoy the show. Alright, let's continue by speaking with Leveva.
Someone give me a random word.
Here at last I see.
Banana.
Spatula.
Anyways, let's continue the story. Here at last I see. Is he gonna keep freaking mentioning words, just spouting up random words?
Oh, because I was trying to figure out what to name this new world, so its name is now Banana, because that's what Josh yelled was Banana.
Uh-huh. Anyways, now let's continue with the story. Here at last I see. Bandits have kept poor Quimperine busy, harrying our camp since we arrived. I do not believe the old man enjoys excitement, however. I'm certain it beats wiping the arse of a noble brat whoring away his father's fortune while dreaming of becoming a real astrologian. I am very well capable of wiping my own arse, thank you very much. And Quimperine has never once complained of his duties. Of course he hasn't. Your father pays him to smile and nod, and I'm sure a comfortable position in the pillars beats chasing after cloud rats in the broom to flavor his soup. Are we here to trade banter, my lady? Because I was led to believe we'd be unlocking a celestial gate. You will find Quimperine has in a good many uses, and I haven't the faintest doubt that he will most ably handle any ruffians who happen to come stumbling about looking for prey. Now, Chris, and Janquinard, we must be patient and wait for the constellation to reach its highest and brightest point, a point at which its flow of ether is the strongest in relation to Heidelin. Okay, so I guess we're just sitting here waiting. And we're waiting. And we're waiting. Here we go. There, Chris! The balance! Focus on the constellation and attune to its power. The balance represents the heaven of fire, a realm made prosperous by the blessing of the traders, but at the same time, one whose equilibrium is maintained by the divine judgment of Azema, the warden. Azema's might will empower those who would take up their blades and meet divine punishment in the name of the Sun Goddess. And thus has the balance burned crimson in your heart, unlocking the gate to the second heaven. Now, let us speed ourselves to the next location, Little Alamigo. Why so soon, you ask? Would you rather that I had you commit yourself to her several moons of using malefics to put down hedge moles? I thought not. Alright, off to Little Alamigo. The balance blazes in the welkin, unlocking the gate to the heaven of fire. Or to the second heaven, I think it said. I forget. Alright. Oh, not too far from Little Alamigo. That's good.
Be patient, Chris. Allow the stars to make their ascent into mid-heaven. Once they have, survey the skies and let the power run through you. Raise your eyes to the stars and witness the violet glow of the spire. In the third heaven rises an iron tower of spinning gears and taut springs constructed by the builder himself. It is assailed without cease by the jealous Ralga, but the destroyer's mighty levin bolts only serve to power the spire's clockwork soul. It is through the blessings of both creation and destruction that strength is granted to he who sees his stars rise under his sign. You have now opened the gate, and its power is yours to command. Using the arcana to draw upon the powers of the stars they represent, this path we walk as astrologians is called the Royal Road. The Royal Road can be treacherous and fraught with peril, but it can lead men to greatness.
The spire blazes in the welkin, unlocking the gate to the third haven, or the third heaven. Alright, let's speak with Leveva. A lot of cutscenes in this quest.
Your realm is quite the paradox. On one hand, it is full of life, magic, and wonder, one of the richest lands on all Heidelin. On the other, it is literally brimming over with strife. Take Little Alamigo, the wretched souls displaced from their homes by the flames of war, or Ishgard, mired in its own pointless conflict with an enemy so old it does not even remember why it fights. The foolish believe that it is their fate to suffer, and so they turn their gaze away from the stars, when those self-same stars have the power to show people there are many paths. But that power can only be channeled by the few, those like me and you, and to a lesser extent, Janquinard. And it is our duty to use that power to benefit those who remain lost or misguided. Remember that, and maybe one day you will truly become my grandfather's successor.
That is exactly...
I'm gonna step away.
What?
I'm gonna step away for a second.
Okay. That is exactly what I have been trying to tell the Astrologians of my home nation. Why disregard something that has the power to grant succor to the wounded, the power to uplift the downtrodden, to strengthen the weak?
The answer to that is easy. Empowering those without power lessens the power of those who already have it. Heal the weak so they might rise up and topple those who made them weak? Why would anyone in a position of power do that? Even our great nation of learning is corrupted by this manner of thought. We hoard our knowledge so that we might remain the brightest. Why do you think it took so long for Professor Mace to visit you, Janquinard? Yes, I know what he told you, but that was not the whole of it. Those of the ruling quarter did their damnedest to stand in the way of my grandfather, worried that his passion for his field would kindle widespread interest in Charlian astrology. They only allowed him his recent trip, knowing he was now too old to do aught of the sort. Unfortunately, the ruling quarter did not realize I would be accompanying my grandfather. Chris, these past turns of the sun have been most fruitful. Yet while you have opened half the heaven's gates, there is still much of the royal road ahead of you. Take what you have learned here in the southern deserts, and transform that knowledge into strength. If you wish to know more of the royal road, I suggest you discuss it with Janquinod back in Ishgard. If my grandfather is to be believed, his time transcribing tomes back at the Studium Scriptorium should have left him more than capable of handling that task.
Alright, let's head back to Ishgard. Alright, back to the Athenium. Alright. Janquinod, what do you know? You wish to know more of the railroad? Well, I seem to recall it had something to do with reassessing the attribution of an arcanum before reading it, which would result in a slight alteration of predestination. Or perhaps it had something to do with the kings and queens on the minor arcana. It was over 2 decades ago. You are free to try it out yourself, I suppose. Alright. Guess we're trying it out for ourselves. Divinations of Astrologians transcended echo deep within your soul. And the Arcana gauge is expanded. Executing the action Royal Road returns the currently drawn Arcanum to the deck in exchange for enhancing the effect of the next Arcanum drawn. The effect is shown above the gauge. Okay, so... looks like attack speed. But I think I'm gonna have to enlarge the Arcana gauge a bit. I might need to center that. Where is it? Oh, it's all the way down here. That's right. That should do it. Okay, that's interesting. Though it's definitely going to need to go those are going to definitely need to go someplace else if I have any hope of using them. So what I'll do is I'll put undraw here. Draw will be here. And then I'll throw Royal Road in with it. Alright, so we've got that. Alright, I think we're good so far. 36 we get Enhanced Benefic. 40 we get Enhanced Mind. Combust Mastery at 46. Malefic Mastery at level 54. Okay. Hopefully we'll get the hang of this, but all will be shown in due time. In the meantime, I'm gonna readjust my stuff here. Maybe put... and we'll see what happens. I can't... and you know what I'm gonna redo this hotbar a little bit more just to readjust everything. But I'll work on that next time. You'll see that redo next time. Until then, that's it for this episode of Cruisenix Purgatory. Special thank you to CC Valentine for joining us. And thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the show. As always, if you're watching this on Twitch or live at PlayStation and you like this show, feel free to hit the follow button below and be sure to turn on notifications. If you're watching this on YouTube.com and you like this video, feel free to hit the like button below and leave a comment. Subscribe to my channel by clicking here. Click here to watch more by me. Click here to watch the previous episode of Path of the Arcanist. And click here to watch the next one. Until next time, Cruisenix, signing out.